The brilliant minds of the Nelk Boys podcast interviewed war criminal Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
In the middle of a war?
It was a genocide.
Adam, it's a war leader. We have to do it.
You know, 60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are going to have a pro-Palestinian on next week. That's what we do here. We do not.
He's charged with as a war criminal by the ICC. So you could have Slobodan Milosevic on?
We asked him what was his response to starving children in Gaza. Could he have stopped October 7th? Is he looking to have regime change in Iran? And we told him that Americans don't want to see another regime change war in the Middle East.
We told him they
asked him if he was starving children in Gaza, and he said no, it was Hamas starving children in Gaza. Adam,
wait. Answer this, Hasan. Did they glaze?
I don't know. I haven't seen the excerpts yet.
I haven't seen it either. I was editing the G Herbo interview, and it's one of my finest moments. And now you've ruined my day. What are you guys doing? Wait, guys, can I get Aaron? I was hinting at this.
That's just what we do. That's just what we do. So, listen. That's just what we do. So I think what we did is we had someone on right now.
He watched Aaron.
Let me finish.
Four podcasts.
Adam. I think this is actually going to be a great thing. If everyone thinks we have such a big platform, would you guys agree or no? Hasan?
Yeah, you guys have a decently sized platform.
People wouldn't be pissed, right? If we didn't have a big platform. So if we have
I think people would still, your fans would, depending on how they feel about it, they probably would be.
Right. So right now we just had Netanyahu on. A bunch of people watched it. I think a lot of people saw through what he was saying. Now, already on the same day, we've had 3 people on with complete opposite viewpoints: Hasan, Sneeko, Myron, Nick Fuentes. So
okay. Don't loop me in with those guys.
Let me finish.
Don't put me in the same category as these guys.
Viewpoints of Netanyahu. Let me finish. So already we've had 4 people with opposite viewpoints on the very same day. And then the next episode of the Full Sun podcast, we're going to have someone very, very reputable with the complete opposite viewpoint of Netanyahu. So I personally think, and listen, there's a lot, you guys got to understand though, Hasan, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people like Hasan though that are educated on this issue. And there's a lot of people like myself who are really not. And I know there's a lot of people watching right now that are the same way as me, that just read shit and don't know what to believe. And if you read stuff and you really don't know what to believe, like I know, Hasan, that might be tough for you to understand because you're so educated on the topic, but there is a lot of people that don't know what to believe.
I know, but that's why
think what we're doing is
you're giving more reason as to why it's bad that you guys interviewed him.
No, we're not. Because
no, that's the problem. Because
they're already listening to you, Hasan. A lot of people in our audience have honestly never heard of you. And I'm sure likewise, they've never heard of us, so they dislike us. So we're putting you onto our audience now, and they're hearing your point of view. And then next week on the podcast, they're going to hear someone really reputable with the complete opposite view of Netanyahu. So I personally think right now we're going to bite the bullet, and I think we're going to take a lot of flack. But I think within a week or 2 weeks' time, we're actually going to be educating our entire audience and probably the entire internet on everyone's point of view.
You're doing crisis PR right now, and I can tell this is really stressful because everyone's mad at you. But please,
it's not,
you guys just do pranks. People like to see you guys partying. Why you guys keep
we'll still party, bro?
In the middle, people can't leave Gaza.
Adam, we were in Central Pay for a few days after this.
People that live there are children.
We were in
75%
agree with you.
Children. Why are you wading into that? People like you guys because they like to party. You hit zaps. You do happy dads. You guys are chill. To see Steve will do a chug. Just do it. Why are you touching that? Not everything.
I agree. You know what? Adam's right. We don't have to.
It is a brutal blood. It is blood. It is violence.
That's the problem.
Why are you guys?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna drink. We're gonna hit zaps, and then we're also gonna interview world leaders.
But it's not just like, dude, you're not like interviewing the prime minister of Albania. Okay, you're like, this is a guy. This is not. If you did that, no one would. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't be doing this video or this video call anyway. If you were doing that, nobody would give a shit.
We plan to do this stream. You can check my story. We plan to do this before we.
And Hasan, you're coming in here all hot, but it's like, bro, we told you exactly what was going to happen. I texted you ahead of time.
I know, but
we're going to have someone who's pro-Palestinian on the other side.
Okay, but that doesn't change the dynamic. I found out about it. I found out about the interview after you had already conducted it.
You haven't even watched the episode.
I know, but if you were to have asked me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do it.
Even if he watches it, he'll still think.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to impress him.
I watched so much Nelk. I love you, boys. Listen, boys. This is let's zoom out. This is a problem with today, with our society. Like, even the fact that you're talking to Sneeko and Myron from Fresh and Fit, like that's not like these are content creators. These aren't historians.
Yes.
These are people that like. These are the fact that like the experts on its politics and its war and its violence. There are people that study this, right? It's just not everything's content, guys.
But that's what we're gonna have on the next episode.
You had Coke. Jesse would have never allowed this. Were he here? Jesse, he told me he watched this episode.
I don't know enough about the Nelk history. I don't know about the Nelk history to know what Adam is saying, but it seems to be impactful.
That's one thing about Adam is he will know everything.
That's good.
You think that they just didn't realize? You think that you think it's banality of evil? Guys, there's a book by this lady Hannah Arendt that I want you guys to read. The Banality of Evil. And I want you guys to get back to me on it. Because it's sometimes like it's sometimes I'm doing a podcast. It's just a podcast. But you don't realize that there's like a gravity there. There are powerful people wanting access to your platform that have an agenda. It's just like when I was asking about like Zuckerberg, right? He like his stock plummets when he's like doing the censorship around COVID, and then everyone's like, "You're anti-free speech Democrat," and then he puts a chain against muscles, and then his stock goes back up. Like it's this everyone that says you're an anti-free speech Democrat is like, no, you're sick because you do bow and arrow. But he's like he's going on podcasts now because it's his stock price. It's an advantage for them. And
they're
it's like,
using you guys. They're using you guys to look good.
Hasan, bro. Why does anybody, Hasan? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hasan, anyone goes on a podcast to promote whatever they're doing.
But they're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting a genocide.
Bro,
that's the point.
We have O.J. Simpson on. We have Entertain on. It's the same shit.
Okay,
this one
none of those things. You do realize that like this is the one instance. This is the one instance where it's the worst guess you could have because these guys are bad people. But what you're talking about is the worst person.
It's the most hated man on the planet.
But Hasan, we agree. But also, if we're going to do it, I'm not going to do it.
I'm going to hook your ass up. I said BB to that guy Yossi, who's your Mossad handler, and Aaron said, "Who's that?" He didn't know that. He didn't know that he's named BB. That's protecting. No, you said who's that, which is good. I mean, like guys, it's like unless you know, like it's wading into like it's violence and there are bombs and rubble.
You're right. You're right. You are right. We definitely realize that.
Content about it. You don't have to do like we're gonna collab with him. We're gonna collab with BB and Bonnie Blue. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just the way it's a sign of the world nowadays. It is.
Adam, you would have him on a heartbeat. Adam, you would have him on a heartbeat. If you have the opportunity, you'd have him on a heartbeat. Don't try to.
Yeah, I would have only one Blue was there to defend Palestine.
You would have BB on in a heartbeat. Don't even try to fucking get the fact.
You know what? Like, I am very like. Well, like I know a lot about this subject. You know, that even maybe is a step, a shade beyond. It's a little bit like it's very painful for me. Aaron, your grandparents were the Holocaust, right? Okay, please. Yes. Our parents' generation, right? We're told that like we have to protect these people, and if we don't protect these people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish, by the way, Kyle. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really read as Jewish, but. Okay. Our parents were told that, right? And they were really scared. They were really scared because they knew Holocaust survivors, right? And it really freaked them out. And they were like, we got to protect Israel and stuff like this. But like, it hasn't protected Jewish people. It is.
I agree with you. That's why Adam, you haven't watched
It's been a failure of a project. Think about the way Jewish people were treated prior to the Holocaust. For 1600 years, we were losers. Everywhere we went, they said, go away. Everywhere we went, they were killed. It sounds a lot like the Palestinians. Because they are people that are dispossessed, and everywhere they go, they get killed. And if we can't see ourselves in that, it's a shanda.
Adam, I'm going to tell you something really quick. I don't agree with Netanyahu. I disagree with a lot of things he's doing. I think he's acting. It doesn't matter. I think in certain aspects he's acting the same way as Hamas is. We've talked to him about this.
No, there's no. See, this is what I mean. You're saying he's acting the same.
No, but Hasan, you're disregarding the point. And Adam, you're not listening.
There's no comparison between Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas. That's my point. The point is that Hamas.
You tried to compare them earlier.
No, Benjamin Netanyahu is infinitely worse. That's the point. Israel is the Israeli military, and its conduct is a million times worse than anything Hamas could have ever done. It is hundreds, if not thousands, of October 7s that Benjamin Netanyahu has done with superior firepower over the course of the last 2 years. There's a mass starvation happening. Israel is the much more powerful entity in this process, and it's backed by the most powerful country on the planet, the United States of America.
Yeah. I think bottom line, guys, on the Full podcast, we're willing to have anyone on the planet. That's just that's the only way to think of it.
All you have to think of it is in this way. You have the longest occupation in modern history, right? And you have a group of individuals that don't have a right to self-determination. They don't have a country, right? And it's been this way in Gaza since 1967. Okay, in Israel, it's a country. They're in the United Nations. They can vote in their government. These people don't have those rights. And guess what? Right now, there's a fence around them, and they're trapped there. It's not a one-on-one. You don't even have to frame. It's literally. Hamas is better than Israel. You don't even have to frame it that way. That's just the situation with the Palestinians and the Israelis, right? Who are like living on either side of that fence. And it's just like, guys, like I get what you guys got to be stressed as shit right now. But like, it's just like, take it. It's just,
yeah, we're good. Trust.
It's not. Get in trouble for anything else.
You're right, Adam. I understand your point of view. Though. We do a lot of comedy. We do a lot a lot of fun stuff. So you're right. We actually definitely didn't need to do this. I totally agree with you.
There is no good purpose. There's no good purpose to interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu unless you're like literally there to laser him or directly arrest him and send him to The Hague, which is not going to happen under any circumstance, especially not inside of the White House. So the only thing that happens here, even if it's a failure overall because of how intensely disliked Benjamin Netanyahu is, the goal on his end was to basically use your platform in the same way that they use CNN. So in a way, you guys turned into CNN.
I don't think that we've already talked about this, but I don't think just because we platform people, they fall for everything the guest says. And this is the perfect example.
I know that, and they clearly aren't, and people are going to be more mad at you guys as a consequence of like interviewing.
Yeah, they're going to be mad at us.
Yeah, my point is that if you're asking me about the morality of it, there were journalists that were implicated and also charged with crimes in the Nuremberg trials for literally participating and doing propaganda for the Nazis, right? So in that regard, if you were to ask, will there ever be a Nuremberg-style trial for Israel? I don't know. Probably not. Okay? That doesn't mean that the crimes are not comparable. And that doesn't mean that your moral culpability in this regard is not close to what those guys did. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be tried in the Nuremberg-style trials, but the moral culpability is still there for not, for conducting an interview such as this one.
I can definitely understand your perspective, Hasan, for sure. I just think that, that's just what we're going to do with the Full Send Pod. And I don't know, maybe we got to get a little better at grilling them, or maybe next time when we have a guest like this, we can hit up people like you, Hasan, and get what you would ask and stuff like that. But
no, Benjamin Netanyahu is never entering the same room as someone like myself. If I were to be in that room, he would not do this podcast with you. Or maybe they would assassinate me.
Let me ask you something, Hasan, why wouldn't you do someone from both sides?
What do you mean?
I mean, we've already debated this. But if you could do Netanyahu and do somebody else, why wouldn't you do that?
But, well, I don't think that there's both sides in the situation. There is the perpetrators, like that's why I'm saying it's like akin to interviewing Adolf Hitler.
Hamas, then you can do Netanyahu.
There is no both sides in the situation. That's why I'm saying it's like interviewing a concentration camp survivor and then interviewing Hitler. You know what I mean? Is there both sides in the situation? No. Interviewing the leadership of the Jewish partisans in World War II versus interviewing Adolf Hitler or like one of his loyal advocates or whatever is not comparable. There are no both sides in a genocide. That's why it's a genocide. It's such a big crime that it doesn't even justify a genocide in retaliation to said genocide. It's the crime of all crimes.
Guys, I think you're getting in the weeds a little bit, right? It's not about.
No, I mean, but no. I'll be honest. Hasan makes a great point.
You guys got well-known, not for politics, right? And it's like, unless you're not going to research more and get ready. Look, you're Rocky. That's just like politics sucks, right? I got made fun of for liking it when I was a kid. It should go back to being like for losers, right? Everyone's into politics now. It sucks. It's just like you don't have to purport to like that to know about it, and just like leave it to like the Wolf Blitzer. Everything is concentrated on it.
Whatever's fucking happens. Whatever happened to Wolf Blitzer.
Me too.
He did.
No, he's still kicking. How dare you guys come for the Wolf?
Wolf Blitzer still buzzing around?
He's still at CNN, yes. But Wolf Blitzer also ironically literally worked for AIPAC before he did CNN.
For someone that like understands like what's happening in the world, like, and you guys don't have to, because like people love you for prank and lifestyle content. You know,
yeah, see, that's where I think I'm gonna be honest. I think that's where you're gonna stop.
What?
But yeah, no, go ahead. You're good.
I gotta go.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Guys, Kyle, it was really nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, bro. We'll link to Adam. I'll talk to you soon, man. Are you in LA?
I went up to Steve. No, I'm in New York.
New York? All right.
Adam, I'll see you, buddy.
Easy,
what's up, bro?
Take care.
Did he just shut off his laptop? That's so funny. Oh my God, he's such a boomer.
So that's actually what I want to ask you, because understandably he gets pissed at us for platforming, but that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, when are we supposed to say no? When are we supposed to not do certain things?
I mean, look, there are certain people that that not everyone is equipped enough to be able to talk to, because that conversation, instead of being a productive one, turns into one where they could just like do propaganda and use the platform that you have to get their message across. I would use the same principle for Nick Fuentes, for example, except with Nick Fuentes, he's a neo-Nazi, but he hasn't done literal crimes like Benjamin Netanyahu has, while also simultaneously being a neo-Nazi of a different sort. So it's even worse than someone like Nicholas Fuentes, and I don't think that Nicholas Fuentes is appropriate to also platform in this situation.
What do you think about the goal of the Full Sun podcast being to platform anybody? What do you think about that overall? If that's the direction we're going to go, right?
The reason why I think it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I obviously can't advocate for deplatforming, especially in this day and age, especially in this time and place, because a lot of these institutions that are tasked with deplatforming people spend way more time deplatforming someone like myself, or at least trying to deplatform someone like myself, for having a consistent, moral, anti-genocide and anti-Zionist position than people who are actually anti-Semitic. They call me anti-Semitic, despite the fact that I'm not anti-Semitic. The reason why I would still choose not to platform neo-Nazis and things of that nature, regardless of how equipped I am at talking to them about these issues and being able to push back adequately, is because a lot of these guys are simply looking for any opportunity to get their message to a broader audience. They don't actually care about the truth. They don't actually care about coming across like a good or bad. They just want to be heard, because every single time they go in front of a larger audience, they end up winning over some people in the margins to their side. Okay? And if you understand that they are not honest brokers here, that they don't like care about back and forth discourse, then ultimately you're playing a role in allowing people to be recruited to that side. You're playing a role in getting more people to be recruited to neo-Nazis, to neo-Nazi groups. And I think that ultimately that is very dangerous.
That's why we're going to have both sides on.
But having both sides on doesn't actually make up for that, is my point.
I agree with you too.
And then
Hasan,
there's
I've told you
also
many
and there's
times.
also no comparison to
Hasan.
Benjamin Netanyahu on the other side anyway.
Hasan, I've told you multiple times. Me and Kyle disagree with a lot of things Netanyahu has done. We do not agree.
But
We stand neutral on this. But I mean, I understand. The whole problem is platforming, but that's what we're going to have from each side a representative that's going to tell us exactly what we
well,
like,
the best possible thing you guys could have done before this interview, I mean, the best possible thing would have been to not have this interview at all. But the second best possible thing, if you were like adamant about having this interview, would have been to potentially bring someone that is knowledgeable before you did the interview, so it didn't just simply, so that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't use you guys like a fleshlight, is what I'm saying, to just make himself look like not the demon that he is, but instead of a personable person. Like, here, I have something here that was sent to me from an excerpt from the interview that you guys conducted, where you asked him if he prefers, Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. And it's really interesting because like people have yelled at me for doing this with like a dude in Yemen that they claim is a terrorist. Okay, that dude is a 19-year-old in Yemen. He has no power. He holds no power on the planet. He is at any given moment.
I mean, it just came up in the conversation.
At any given moment, he could be assassinated by American bombs, by Saudi bombs, or any other. Like, he is one of the least powerful people on the planet. This Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the most powerful people on the planet. So in this opportunity, instead of humanizing him, you guys could have had someone that is knowledgeable enough not to ask that question. And instead, when you say, like, are you starving children? And he says no, the person could turn around and say,
for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, Hasan,
Hasan,
you make a great point, and I understand your comparisons to Hitler. I see your perspective. And yeah, I think just with the Folsom Pod, like I told you, we're just not here to choose the guests. We're going to have anyone on, even if it is a wanted war criminal, and we're just going to let the viewers decide. And I think they spoke very clearly. And I don't think just because we platform people, that people fall for the person's message.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, that's just the bottom line. Like, go look at the comments.
We give you an
I just don't think
opportunity.
that,
it's not-
I don't think that you guys would do that, is my point. Like, if there's no other, because you already said you wouldn't, you already said you would not, if given the opportunity, you would not interview Adolf Hitler. So there is a limit to it. Like, there's an upper limit.
Well,
And
we
it's not
didn't
because
say
he's-
that. We didn't say that. We said a type.
But also, Hasan, it's crazy.
I think it's evident that just because we platform someone, just because Nelk sits next to them, doesn't mean we agree with everything they say or do. One, because we definitely don't. And number two, just because we platform someone, it doesn't. Our viewers are fucking smart. Like, go read the comments. Like,
Yeah, but
also proof that just because we have someone on, it doesn't necessarily mean a W for the guest.
No,
Hasan,
I understand that.
Go ahead
There
and
are plenty of
respond.
people that I disagree with that I communicate
comments are
with.
proof.
But there's a difference between, there's an upper limit to it, is my point. And that upper limit is like far past when it comes to someone like Benjamin Netanyahu. My limit is far before Benjamin Netanyahu. It's someone like Nicholas Fuentes or someone like Andrew Tate. But even if I were to engage with people like that, it depends on the platform that they have and how much prominence and how much influence they hold over a large enough audience. Because I feel like it's unproductive, it's counterproductive if they hold no staying power whatsoever. So I'm not saying that it's bad to interview Benjamin Netanyahu, but if you were going to do that, it's such a important task that you have to take it seriously, and you have to have someone who is knowledgeable to be able to push back, because he's a fucking liar.
Hasan, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. As you know, then they're going to be very specific with who they allow to interview them. We've already covered that, right? Is his PR team going to allow him to go on a HasanAbi live stream? Probably not.
No, of course not. They would.
Someone that's had Trump on 3 times.
No, I think. Listen, I think we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Wait, last thing I want to ask.
We're in Europe.
Hasan, last thing. We text off stream. Obviously, we are boys. We talked about lifting together, hooping together. So there are things that we can't agree on, but when it comes to this stuff, it creates animosity. So I just want to point that out.
Okay, but all right, but you have to. There's a reason why there's 6,000 comments here. I'm looking at the comments right now, and everyone's cooking you guys.
We read them. We read them.
We know. Hasan, we're aware.
I mean, that should be evident that the Folsom podcast has people on and the viewers decide.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, guys. You should have Gabor Mate or Gabor Mate is a Holocaust survivor.
I'm gonna have Steiny text you, and if you
okay, I will. I will send you people to interview. But if you were to ask me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do this interview. For the record, I only found out after you did this interview.
But when he texted me, and he said, "Yo, you had so and so on the podcast!" Exclamation point. Was that more of a shock or
yes?
What was that?
It was a shock.
Shock factor. Okay, making sure. Hasan, thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon, bro.
Oh, ay.